Good morning, students. Myself, Neethulekshmy, an assistant professor in the Department of Political Science, Srinarayana College, Kollam. Today, I am going to present a topic that is the election, powers and functions of the President of India. The President of India is considered to be the head of the state and he is considered as the first citizen of India. In Indian Constitution, from Article 52 to 78, in the Part 5, deals with the union government, that is the powers and functions of the union government. And the union executive consists of the President of India, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, the Council of Ministers and the Attorney General of India. Election of the President. Election of the President is conducted through an indirect method. That is, he is not elected as like the Prime Minister of India. He is not directly elected by the people of India, but he is indirectly elected through an electoral college. You may have heard about the electoral college that is working in India for the election of the president, and the electoral college consists of the elected members of both houses of the parliament. You should note the elected members of both houses of the parliament, the elected members of the state house of the parliament and the elected members of the state legislative assemblies and the elected members of the union territories of Delhi and Puducherry. So, you can see here the elected members is written in the bold letters because you know that in a parliament or in a state legislative assembly, there should be nominated members. In the parliament, they will be nominated from the President of India. In Rajya Sabha, it is 12 members and in Lok Sabha, it is 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community. So, they only have a role in the election of the President of India. The elected members, again, the elected members of the both houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the elected members of the state legislative assemblies, the elected members of the union territories, that is Delhi and Puducherry. Among the union territories, only Delhi and Puducherry have state legislative assemblies. That is why we are mentioning, particularly we are mentioning territories of Delhi and Puducherry. And the presidential election is done in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote and by a secret ballot system. Yes, the value of the MLA and MP will vary in an electoral college in the presidential election. How can we find out the value of the vote of an MLA? That is, total population of the particular state like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, like that, and divided by the total number of elected members in the state legislative assembly and into 1 by 1000. This will be the value of a vote of an MLA for the presidential election. And what is the value of the vote of an MP? Total value of votes of all MLAs of all states divided by total number of elected members of the parliament. And again, there is an electoral quota for the winning of the president. There may be candidates, 2 or more candidates will be there. Sometimes 1 candidate or 2 candidates will be there. So, he should satisfy an electoral quota while participating, or he should when should be declared as the President of India, he should satisfy an electoral quota. And how can we find out the electoral quota? That is the total number of valid votes polled divided by 1 plus 1. What is this 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 means the number of candidates that is participated or participated in the election, participated in the presidential election or presidential contest. Or 1 plus 1 plus 1 again, if there are 3 candidates we can make it as 1 plus 1 plus 1 and totally plus 1. That electoral college will be, electoral quota will be considered like that. That is total number of valid votes polled divided by the number of candidates contested in the election plus 1 will be the electoral quota for the selection of, for the election of the Indian president. And what will be the qualifications and conditions to be a president of India? He or she should be a citizen of India. He should have completed the age of 35 years. He should not hold any office of profit under any public authority. He should not be a member of either houses of the parliament. If he is a member of either house of the parliament, before before being the President of India, he should leave that position. Yes, his term of office is 5 years and removal can be done by the Parliament through an impeachment procedure. Now, what are the powers and functions of the President of India? He has basically 7 powers, that is legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers, judicial powers, diplomatic, military and emergency powers. Now, we can look into legislative powers. That is, the President is an integral part of the Parliament of India. At the same time, he is an integral part of the executive also. The President can summon, prorogue the Parliament and dissolve Lok Sabha. Secondly, he can summon a joint sitting of the houses of the Parliament. Third one, he can address the Parliament at the commencement of the first session after each general election and the first session of each year. He can send messages to the houses of Parliament regarding to the pending bills in the Parliament. He can nominate 12 members to Rajya Sabha and 2 members to Lok Sabha. Here you can note 12 members to Rajya Sabha will be selected will be nominated from the people from different categories like arts, sports, culture, like that. And 2 members to Lok Sabha, and they should be from Anglo-Indian community. Money bills can be introduced in Lok Sabha only with the prior permission of the President of India. And he can promulgate ordinances. Now, executive powers. All executive actions of the Government of India are formally taken in President's name. He appoints the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. He appoints the Attorney General, Comptroller and Auditor General, Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, the chairman and members of UPSC, the governors of the state, etc. He can appoint a commissioner to investigate into the conditions of SCs, STs and other backward classes. He directly administers the union territories. He can declare any area as a scheduled area and has powers with respect to the administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas. He can appoint an interstate council to promote center-state and interstate cooperation. About financial powers, money bills can be introduced in Lok Sabha only with the prior permission of the President of India. Any other bill can be introduced in any of the houses of the Parliament, but about money bills can be initiated only in Lok Sabha, and that also with the prior permission of the President of India. No demand for a grant can be made except on President's recommendation. The President can make advances out of the contingency fund of India to meet any unforeseen expenditure. Constitutes a finance commission in every 5 years. The President has the power to constitute a finance commission in every 5 years. And what are the judicial powers of the President? He appoints the Chief Justice and judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. The President can seek advice from the Supreme Court on any question of law or fact. The President can grant pardon, reprieve, respite and remission of punishment or suspend, remit or commute the sentence of offence. Diplomatic powers. The international treaties and agreements are negotiated and concluded on behalf of the President. He represents India in international forums and affairs and sends and receives diplomats like ambassadors, high commissioners and so on. About emergency powers. He can declare 3 kinds of emergencies in India. First one, national emergency under Article 352, President's rule under Article 356 and 365, financial emergency under Article 360. Veto powers. What do you mean by a veto? Veto is the right to reject. So, Indian President has the right to reject a bill which is passed by the Parliament. We can see there are 3 types of veto powers that the Indian President have. First one is absolute veto, second suspensive veto, and the third one is pocket veto. Absolute veto means the whole authority to completely reject a particular bill. Here we have to see, to reject a particular bill completely the president have two options, or the president can reject a bill only in two cases. That is, first one, with respect to the with respect to private members bill. Who is a private member in a parliament? There are two types of members we can see, that is the private member and the minister. Those who are not the ministers, the members, those who are not ministers or those who are not a part of the cabinet are called as private members. So, the private member bill can be rejected by the President of India. And in the second case, we can see with respect to the government's bill, when the cabinet resigns. Suppose the current government resigns after submitting it for the particular bill for the consent of President of India. But before the President of India gives the assent, the particular government resigns. And when the next government comes, the next government says the President not to pass or not to give assent to the particular bill. In such cases, the government bills also can be rejected by the President of India. In these two cases only, the President of India can completely reject a particular bill. That veto power is considered as absolute veto. Second one, suspensive veto. Suspensive veto means a bill is considered at the parliament, both houses of the parliament gave assent, passed the particular bill, and it was sent to the president's consideration. And what happens is the president can return the bill. He can return the bill and ask the parliament to reconsider the bill. And after reconsidering or not reconsidering, the parliament can send the particular bill again to the president's assent. And the president should sign or give sanction to the particular bill. And this veto, that is the returning power of a particular bill, is known as suspensive veto. And again, the pocket veto. Pocket veto is only with the pocket veto is the power that is vested only with the President of India, because American president doesn't have a pocket veto. Because in America, if a bill is passed by the parliament and it is placed before the President of India for his assent, we can see that he can hold the particular bill only for 10 days. But here in India, the particular bill can be sent, or not can be sent, it can be kept by the President of India for an unlimited period. There is no mentioning about this particular period. That is, no action will be taken on this bill. He can hold this bill for a long time. In India, Sale Singh has done this kind of pocket veto power. So there is a saying that in America, the pocket of the president is very small, and in India, the pocket of the president is a very big one, because he can keep everything in the pocket. And what is the constitutional position of President of India? Even though we are discussing a lot of things about the President of India, about his powers and functions in India, there is a question how much authority he has, because he is not directly elected by the people. Here, the real powers are vested with the Prime Minister, because he is the direct representative of the people. That's why the President of India is a nominal executive. But when we compare the rights or the functions or powers of the President and Prime Minister, we can see that in actual practice, the real executive will be the Prime Minister of India. And so we can call the President of India as a nominal executive, and the real executive will be the Prime Minister of India, because India is a democratic country. Thank you very much.